Coming up on Double Take Sports Talk, we will update you with headlines and news, matchups to start off the week in the NBA. That is next. All right, this is it. Double Take Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers. Thank you for tuning in. Darrell, on the opposite side, say hello to Darrell to everybody.
Hello, welcome to the show. We're here.
We're here. All right, man. You doing good, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man.
Okay, man. We got some things that we need to cover here this week in the NBA. Man, you ready to rock this one?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got final scores and stats from the previous games. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. All right. There you have it. The scoreboards from the previous games. I believe that was April 18th and 19th. Is that right? Or 17th and 18th?
Oh,
I think it was 17, 18.
I want to say it was 17th and 18th. Yeah. Wow. I didn't even. Oh my. I didn't even do it. Yeah, it's the.
I think it's the 18th and 17th and 18th. Oh, well.
Yeah, 17th and the 18th. Yes, and the 19th.
And the 19th. Got it. Okay. All right. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go back to the Monday night's game against the Pacers and the Cavs. That was game 2. Of course, Darren, me and you predicted that the Pacers can steal another one. We'll try to steal it again at home against the Cavaliers. Well, on the road, I should say. But they came up short again. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead, take the floor, take a look at the quick stats real quick and see what they did to lose this game.
Cleveland led as many as 19. This is my concern. Them going into Bankers like Fieldhouse, where you have the Pacer fans going, against Cleveland. They got that memento, going into Indianapolis. Leading as many as 19 on the road like that is going to be a big major problem for Cleveland. This is my problem right here. You led as many as like 19, but only lost by 6? I believe that is. Yeah, you lose by 6. I find that's a problem. This is going to be a problem. I don't know where at a point where the refs is going to stop siding with Cleveland, but this game needs to be, fairly evened out. Now, of course, I will say this. The Pacers didn't play good enough defense to win this game, but even at that, you still got to be able to, get the refs on your side, which is going to be hard to do on that behalf. And then you got, what What you circle? No. No, for what? Oh my goodness. No match. Very true. Very true. No match.
Look at here. Let me tell you something. If they played that type of brand of basketball just in the fourth quarter alone, if they could do that for the first 3 quarters, Cleveland's no match for the Pacers whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. And then you take a look at this. Of course, like you said, this is no match. Because this is in the fourth quarter. This is in the third. Close. Pacers got out rebounded by Cleveland. I told them they need to stay off. They need to keep Cleveland off the boards, although they won the offensive battle. But they're not winning the defensive battle on the boards. They have to keep them off the boards on their behalf. Kevin Love with double-doubles, LeBron James double-doubles. You can't do that with them. You got to be able to keep them off the boards. And then being able to distribute the ball, they did real good on that behalf, 23 to their 19. But they still shot the ball better. Pacers shot it fairly well, but not good enough. Not good enough. So that means that you're going to have to hit jumpers, which these are key hints for the preview analysis. 14 steals, this right here, 6 steals. This tells you something for their 18 turnovers. This is telling you something here. They're playing their brand of basketball. Something is just not going right on the behalf of their defense to be able to keep up. Or it could also be the referees in this game siding with Cleveland, and I'm believing that is a mixture of both. But here, right here, 8 blocks.
Sorry.
Yep, paint.
No,
oh, panic. Wow.
That's what they did. The Pacers panicked.
Yeah, they panicked.
They panicked.
And they can't do that. They cannot do that. Went to the free throw line 23 times, converted 87% of their free throws. Need to foul Tristan Thompson more, get him to the free throw line. In order for them to lose this game, they have to get him to that free throw line. That's just, but because they had this 87%, they had to get Tristan Thompson to the free throw line. And Pacers did not just do well from the free throw line themselves. So there's a lot of things that the Pacers got to work on, get ready for. My personal opinion at this point, here is my personal opinion. I think they need to start Lance Stevenson for Game 3.
That's a big statement.
I do. I think they need to start Lance Stevenson. I think he could give them that boost, jump start that they need. So I believe that if Lance Stevenson start Game 3, I think that could give them a bigger boost momentum going into the game.
Granted, I agree with that, but it may not happen.
Yeah, no. Nate McMillan's not that smart.
Well, Larry Bird ain't either.
And of course.
So, all right. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And as we speak of the Pacers, we're going to stick with them, and then we're going to go ahead and preview tonight's game. Pacers and Cavaliers. Of course, the series shifted over to Indianapolis, the downtown Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Of course, that's going to be a 7 o'clock tip-off, and that game is to be aired on TNT. Yes, TNT, nationally. Radio is going to be 107.5 FM and AM 1070 The Fan. A quick rewind from Game 2, of course. Of course, this is the last time the two teams met as usual. It was Game 2. So, let's see. I think it was mentioned on the scoreboard or something of the sort. But, of course, Kevin Love, LeBron James, and Kyrie Irving had combined for 89 points.
That is correct, Armando. It was on the scoreboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, they had surpassed, of course, the 20-point mark of the night. Kyrie Irving had 37, LeBron James had 25, and Kevin Love had 27. Big no-nos if you're going to try to challenge a team like the Cavaliers. That's a no-no. So anyway, in their franchise history, the Cavaliers have never lost a series in which they led 2-0. The Pacers and Cavaliers each shot better than 50% from the field, with the Cavaliers leading the way of shooting with 55%. And, of course, the Pacers was 51%. Kevin Love's 27 points came on 6 for 7 shooting. He was 3 for 4 from downtown and hit all 12 of his free throw attempts. That is the rewind of the last two teams that met. Of course, that was Monday night. Now, switching gears real quick. Going to take a look at a couple things to note for tonight's game. The Cavaliers have won 2 of their last 4 games at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Prior to that, Cleveland had lost 10 straight games in Indiana. After making 8 free throws in Game 2, Paul George passed Rick Spitz for second place in free throws made in franchise playoff history.
One of the best free throw shooters in the game before the Pacers. Man, put that man on the foul line. That's a center.
Yes. That's a center.
Him, Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon. Hey, sorry.
David Robinson, yeah.
Yep.
Paul George has now made 297 free throws in the postseason. That's 7 more than Rick Spitz. Of course, you should already know the franchise leader. Ding!
Reggie Miller.
There you go. He is the franchise leader at 770.
Don't surprise me. They fouled him too much. They had to stop doing that, which they didn't do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Paul George has also tied Roy Hibbert, or I should say Fried Hibbert, for 4th place with 450 career rebounds in the playoffs. LeBron James needed 12 points in Game 3 to pass Kobe Bryant for 3rd most career points in the postseason in NBA history. Different things just to note there. Injury report, Pacers do not have none to be reported, but if I was everybody, I would still keep an eye out on Al Jefferson and Glenn Robinson III. But at any rate, still none. For the Cavaliers, J.R. Smith is questionable with a left hamstring injury. I'm pretty sure he's going to start, so I wouldn't be surprised about that. The projected starters for the Cavs, you got Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith shoot 1 and 2, LeBron James shoot 3, Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson shoot 4 and 5. For the Pacers, Jeff Teague and Monte Ellis shoot 1 and 2, Paul George shoot 3, Thaddeus Young and Miles Turner shoot 4 and 5. Before I shift the gears to you, Darren, my main key for this is for the Pacers to actually get a strong start. As I mentioned from the preview, if the Pacers can dominate the way they did the fourth quarter for the first 3 quarters and still keep that same dominance in the fourth quarter, the Pacers can win this game. But they need to dominate and control this game. They need to get off to a fast start. They need a spark plug. They need everything to work on all cylinders because right now their backs is against the wall.
Which is why I believe that Lance Stevenson should start Game 3. You want a spark plug, Lance Stevenson would be the key to start that in Game 3.
I agree.
In that meantime, the keys that I got for this game to win, number 1, play smart basketball, flat out. Mm-hmm. You can't do anything else better than to play smart basketball. Outsmart them. Outsmart them to a point where they'll be confused. You want to get this team confused. If you want to get this team confused, play smart basketball. That's what you do. Number 2, hit those open jumpers or hit those jumpers off your playmakers and what they do. We preached this in Game 1, preached this in Game 2. And it's going to have to be the same thing in Game 3. You're going to have to hit these jumpers, rather if they're 3-pointers, rather if they're 2-pointers, rather if they're packing the paint off your playmakers. You have to hit these shots. You have to hit these shots. And shooting over 50% is fantastic, but at the same time, you need to be able to still match up to Cleveland because Cleveland, Kyrie Irving is taking it in on Jeff Teague at all times, and Jeff Teague is not a very good defensive man. That's what's hurting the Pacers. You need a defensive man to be able to keep up with Kyrie Irving. If I was Nate McMillan, I would take Jeff Teague and Monte Ellis and flip them on defense. I would have Monte Ellis guarding Kyrie Irving and have Jeff T guard J.R. Smith if he's starting. That's what I would do if I was Nate McMillan.
I agree because J.R. Smith, he really can't do too much
No,
anyway, and he's
no.
hurt.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what I would do if I was Nate McMillan. That's just me. Key number 3 in order for the Pacers to win this game tonight, of course, Darrell, you mentioned it, and I'm going to mention it again. They must attack the paint. They must attack the paint. They have to attack the paint. That's that's part of their mojo. You know, kick it in, kick it out. They're going to see you go attacking the paint. Somebody's going to be left open. That's go back to key number 2. Hit those open jumpers.
Miles Turner's going to have to play. He's going to have to come.
Yes, Miles Turner. Miles Turner, I believe, is a very good shooter for him to be a center like Rick Smits. He needs to be able to shoot that ball real well, attack the paint real well, and be that rim protector. He needs to be able to have Kyrie Irving kick that ball back out, and they need to be able to play defense on the perimeter in order for them to succeed and win this game also.
And you also mentioned it before, be on time too. So
yeah, be on time. Absolutely, be on time. And then the fourth and the last thing to be able to do to win this game is do better off rotation. Do better. If you're going to switch and do rotation, be better at it. Be more productive at it. Show that you're going to be able to stop them when you're rotating. Make them second guess themselves. That's what you have to do to win the game. Make them, make them second guess themselves. That's just me. Make them second guess themselves. That is the most important thing for me. Make them second guess themselves. Keep them off sync. Once again, my computer had a very hard time syncing here. That's a very hard time syncing between Dropbox and just being on this computer. I think of it as Cleveland, not syncing. The Pacers have a better sync than them, and they know better in this game. So if my computer could have this syncing problem where I have to keep re-shutting it down and bringing it back up, that's what the Pacers need to do to Cleveland. Shut them down and let them be re-brought back up to have the same situation all over again. Just saying.
This is proved that it's happened before.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right. You're right. Absolutely right. All right. Once again, that is a 7:00 tip-off, Bankers Life Fieldhouse. So we actually sat down and gave our thoughts on the keys to the game and what needs to be done with that. So after we talked about this there, what do you have in this game? You're muted, man. You're muted.
I forgot about that just that quick. Yeah. Although Pacers lost game 1 and 2, I'm not giving up on them. I still got Pacers game 3.
I agree.
I still got them game 3. I'm not giving up on them until the 0-0 game 4 Cleveland wins. That's when I give up on them, but I'm not giving up on them. I believe they can come back and win 2-2. To be able to tie the series 2-2. I got the Pacers in this game tonight. I'm not giving up on them.
So do I. I got the Pacers in this game also. It's like I said, they need to get out to the strong start. If they can get out to the strong start, then definitely they could be able to, like you said there, sync more better as a team.
Yeah.
Reboot itself. If they get into trouble, reboot themselves,
charge
themselves up, and go right back out there.
Absolutely.
Yep. They do have opportunities like that. I got the Pacers in this game too.
Me too, Darrell. Me too. Go Pacers.
Go Pacers. All right. Time for the scoreboards of our respective teams of the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals. So with that being said, let's take a look at it. All right. Here we go. Darren, Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals, and their respective teams' analysis. Short form. You're muted again, man.
I'm tired of this.
Every time.
This is not going to work for me. You know it's time to go to bed when something like that happens.
Yeah,
All right.
right.
Yeah. So we got the Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals. Let's take a look first at the Chicago Cubs preview and predictions for the Chicago Cubs Cincinnati game. First pitch is 7:10 p.m. on WGN. Your starting pitcher is John Lester for the Chicago Cubs with a 0-0 record, 1 ERA, and 17 strikeouts up against Tim Alderman with a 0-0 record and a 2.25 ERA and 5 strikeouts. That is game one of the Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. Game two of the same prospective teams. First pitch on the 22nd is at 1:10 p.m. John Lester again is listed as game two. Again, these are subject to change. Also with a 0-0 record, same statistics, 1.00 ERA and 17 strikeouts up against Cody Reed with a 1-0 record, 0.00 ERA and 8 strikeouts. That game will be on ABC 7. And game three on the 23rd, first pitch at 1:10 p.m. John Lackey, the Chicago Cubs, 1-2 record, 4.00 ERA, 19 strikeouts, going up against the Cincinnati starting pitcher to be determined. I believe that will probably be determined probably around game two, maybe. It just depends. And now on to the St. Louis Cardinals. You have the St. Louis Cardinals in the Milwaukee Brewers series. Starts game one on the 20th. First pitch is at 8:10 p.m. Your starting pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals would be Carlos Martinez with a 0-2 record, which I already know this game, with a 3.57 ERA, 24 strikeouts against Zach Davies with an 8.79 ERA, 11 strikeouts. You can catch that game on FSM. Game two on the 21st. First pitch is at 8:10 p.m. St. Louis Cardinals starting pitcher Adam Wainwright with a 0-3 record with a 7.24 ERA and 13 strikeouts going up against Willie Peralta with a 3-0 record, a 2.65 ERA and 13 strikeouts. You can also catch that game on FSM. Man, that's a tongue twister. And then game three, the 22nd. First pitch at 7:10 p.m. You got Lance Lynn for the St. Louis Cardinals starting pitcher with a 1-1 record and a 3.12 ERA and 13 strikeouts going up against Chase Anderson with a 2-0 record, 1.50 ERA and 16 strikeouts. Them are your series of the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs up against their prospective teams, Cincinnati Reds and the Milwaukee Brewers. Darrell, with these sneak previews, Darrell, who do you have in these series?
Okay. With the Chicago Cubs, I got the Cincinnati Reds. And with the St. Louis Cardinals, I got the St. Louis Cardinals. Straight up. 2-1 St. Louis, 2-1 Cincinnati.
I actually agree. I agree, Darrell. I'm not even going to fuss that.
Yeah, you fussed the last. Well, I fussed the last one.
Yes, you did. Who ended up winning the series? Last series?
Who was it? St. Louis and New York?
No, St. Louis and
Pittsburgh.
Yes.
St. Louis.
St. Louis won 2-1, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Cubs?
I think so, yeah. And the Cubs, I think they lost.
They lost the series?
I think they lost the series. Yes, I think they lost.
So it was the reverse. It was the reverse, yeah. So, yep, there you have your preview and your predictions. Once again, for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs.
Okay. Now it's time to take a look at the headlines of the sports world, NBA, NFL, and MLB. I only got one thing for the MLB side, and that is that the Pittsburgh Pirates, Starlin, what was his last name? Starlin, Jesus Christ, I forgot his name. His last name. I think it was Marte. Starlin Marte is suspended 80 games due to PED positive test. So that's pretty much half of the season. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually pulled them out the door or they keep them out the rest of the season because they're pretty angry about that. That's all I got for the MLB side of this. Shift gears real quick. Go take a look at the NBA side of this. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. The Warriors will not panic if Durant misses game 2.
I mean, they won
a calf injury in game 1.
I'm about to say they had no reason to. They won majority of their games without him. Don't panic. Yeah. No.
I mean, it's just like, well, why Russell back into the game? We talked about this.
Yeah.
You know, why would you do something like that?
Exactly. But, you know, hey, we just on the sideline. That's all.
I know, yeah, we are. We're just on the sideline doing a podcast.
Yeah.
J.R. Smith, of course, I said this during the preview of the Pacer game. Questionable. So I think he's going to start. It ain't going to stop you. But anyway, here's my brutal one. Of course, Darren, you said it, and they got it. The NBA fined Dave Fizdale $30K for criticizing the officials.
Mm-hmm.
Made some strong points.
Very strong statement.
So you're practically finding a man. You're practically finding a man for the freedom of speech. Math doesn't seem right. You find them $30K. Now the math really don't seem right on that one. I'm sorry. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
Also, lastly and not least, Marcus Smart, Boston Celtics guard, has been fined for making obscene gestures.
Yeah.
He bricked up 3. Fans didn't like it. Gave him the flip bird.
Wow.
Yep. That's it for the NBA side. Go ahead and take a look at the NFL side real quick. The Cleveland Browns is expecting Brock Osweiler to compete for the starting quarterback position. Phil Simms will be CBS studio show analyst. He is no longer with Class A Jim Nance. So he is going down to CBS.
That ain't going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. I'm telling you that now. It's not the same.
What I think, I don't know if that was the rumor or not, that Tony Romo took over his spot.
That still ain't going to be the same. Tony, are you kidding me?
Well,
I don't even want to watch Class A no more now.
That could be just as good with him being.
I don't care. No. That man is the mastermind of the football. Come on now. I was like when John Madden left. I wasn't saying with Monday night. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, of course, I can see this. And of course, Derek, we talked about this briefly before we came on. Aaron Hernandez was found dead in his Massachusetts prison cell. He hung himself with the bed sheets that was brought to the hospital. So.
Would have been nice if he thought about his daughter before he did that.
And you know what? I said that. I had said that. I was like, well, the one thing I think about here is that, okay, you're engaged, you have a family, and you got a little girl. So now your question is that even though that you was indicted on the double murder, but you're still serving a life sentence for the murder of Olin Lloyd, the question is now that happened and you're serving a life sentence, do that mean you give up on yourself? Do you actually think now that you're actually the judge, dang, I had it that quick. What they call them?
Judge, jury,
and executioner. You know, you actually consider yourself that now. You know, so now you're calling the shots based upon your life. Look, you may not have been possibly have got the shot to have parole, but the life of you would have counted for that if you would have worked hard and did what you had to do. It would have been never too late for anything. Mm-hmm. But so now he decided to end his life over that. So it's just a lot of things that was going on that actually could have been in that case. But you know,
I mean, he went through this whole trial. The whole trial, both of them, and he went through it, and then he committed suicide. Disappointing.
What's the deal?
Disappointing.
You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised he didn't do it earlier.
Yes, exactly. He
didn't do it earlier. I mean, it's like, well, what's the deal with this?
Exactly.
What really went through your mind at that time?
Yeah.
And so now his daughter's going to be raised without a father.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. But at any rate, that is the news headlines from the sports world, NBA, NFL, and all right, Darren. Final thoughts? You got anything?
Just one thing. I'm so upset with Paul George and how the fact he sat there and called out the team and he called out Lance Stevenson. But if it wasn't for Lance Stevenson, this team wouldn't even be in the playoff. I'm very disappointed in that.
And you know what's so funny about that, Darren? It's so funny that, you call them out during the press conference. You call them out during the media call in the conference. Why are you not pulling these people off individually? You know what I'm saying? When people ask you, hey, what is this and this and this needs to improve on, we'll talk about that. I will go up to him. That's something you do not need to know.
Exactly. That
if Miles Turner or Lance Stevenson want to come up and say something about that, then they can. But at the same time, you can't be going and calling out people like that. That's not what makes you a good leader. You're looking real salty on your behalf when you're doing
you really are.
Crap.
You really are. You really are. Because like I said, this team would have made it to the playoffs had it been Lance Stevenson. He came in
exactly.
there.
They were for the last 5.
Like you gotta remember, you're playing a tougher team as Cleveland. So yeah, you're gonna have these struggles. You're not gonna come in there and just be perfect. If I say if you're trying to come in there and be perfect, you rather might just go ahead and just throw the whole season away. You rather might go ahead and throw the whole playoff series away. You cannot be perfect, but at the same time, you could try to go and work these things out to be a better team versus the perfect team. Just saying. Exactly. And Paul George has really made me mad when he did that. And I'm like,
well, now he's starting to make. Is he? And he's starting to make stupid decisions now. He's starting to make stupid decisions.
Yeah.
He's lacking thereof. The whole team itself is lacking, but he is more of the lacker. He's more of the lacker. And when he got mad at C.J. Miles about that whole ordeal, with him taking the game-winning shot in game 1. That's the stuff you just can't get mad at. You knew the trap was coming. You knew that you was going to get the ball, and you knew LeBron James was going to make a read to trap your ass.
But the thing is that he shouldn't have called him out on that either.
He shouldn't have called him out on that either. And C.J. Point had a fabulous point, in my personal opinion. Look, I want the best shooters in this league. Look at the stats. And then during another after the practice conference with Paul George, pulled out another stat on his behind and was like, hey, I think he was like 2 for 15 when it came down to game-winning shots. And Paul George was like, hey, I could make my next 15. When? If LeBron James is going to trap you?
Exactly.
What are you thinking? You have to open up your trust to your other teammates. C.J. Miles, Lance Stevenson, Miles Turner. You have to trust them. You cannot always take the handles for this. I mean, yes.
They're going to know you getting the ball. They're going to know that.
Exactly. They're going to know that. It is your team. Yes, we get that. But sometimes you have to open up your mind and say, hey, I got to have trust in my teammates for this. You got to. I mean, yeah. I was just as furious.
Yeah, I'm very upset about that.
Well, in this case, I ain't got nothing else to say about it. I don't have no final thoughts. You really pretty much spoke the devil out of me. So I'm just going to go ahead and just get on out of here. Get out of this suit. Fry like cookie grease. Crisco. I'm Crisco in here. Sure. Okay. I am fried like Crisco.
No, I'm prepared to fry like it because I'm still laughing at you. drilling all this body heat I don't need. Oh, oh my goodness. I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna do it.
All right, that is another edition of Double Take Sports Talk. If you like what you see, you give the video a thumbs up. Yeah, how you feeling about today's show? You just comment on the comment section below. Of course, it's normal as usual. We are here. But until then, I'm Darrell. Darren laughing still on the opposite side.
Of course.
All right. Yeah, catch up to this on another episode of Double Take Sports Talk. Until then,
ciao.
Drop the mic. Double Take Sports Talk here with me, Darrell Watts. As many of you know, me and Darren enjoy talking sports and giving out stats, but we also enjoy entertaining while doing it. So with that being said, you can check us out on the social media side and get more involved in our podcast. We're on Twitter at DTST2414, or you like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at The Watch Brothers. We're also on YouTube. Like, share, do what you got to do with that. Once again, we don't mind. Also, we are finally back on the podcast app for audio-only purposes for those who enjoy audio-only of our podcast. We're also on the blog, feature critical thinking of analysis, and you can check that out at doubletakesportstalk.blogspot.com. Thanks again. All right, we need to hear a quick sponsor from Make 2K Great Again.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, this is too bad. Woo! I see why. Oh my goodness. Well, at least, yes, he is. Word. You can't stop that. Stop it. Shit. Fuck around and probably get a headache. That's weak. Wow. Word. Nah, you good, man. You good. Nah, you good, man. Nah, you good. You good. Stop that. Yeah, you better pay attention. Okay, he's one of my role models. Nah, you good. Stop that. Buckets. Ooh. It's all good. Ooh. Oh. No, you good. Well, right on. Ah. Weak. All day. Hell yeah. Oh! Give me that. Oh!
Told you to chill. Stop acting around.
Yes, sir.
Get up here. Lay down.
Ah! Weak sauce.
Stay there. Relax.
Get out of here. You weren't supposed to handle that. That's right. All day. I knew I had to put it up. I knew I had to. Yeah. Right. Stop that. Ah! Weak. Weak. Ooh, that was weak. Ah, I thought that was in. Hell yeah. Oh! Right on. Now you good. Give me that. Yes, sir.
I didn't think it was going to come from like you being a kick back from defense. So I'm pretty right in this space. I can get it. I almost did get the bar up.
You good. You good. In a game. Oh!
Lucius. Sit. Sit down. Relax. Bring it down to a 2.
No foul? Damn, no foul. Yeah, word. Yeah. And he did. Oh, man. Yeah. Ah. Damn. I know. Gang. Yeah, they did. Yeah.